Just got back, but
I am muted.
All right, I have 7:30. So I think we can go ahead and, I'd like to welcome people to the November meeting of the Town of Pine Plains Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. We have just a couple things on the agenda tonight. We have a variance for the Nanettis at 29 Birch Drive. I, missed the last meeting and, I didn't keep up to snuff on that, and so I believe Amanda had taken you through in the past, and I presume that we have scheduled and advertised a public hearing.
Right.
And when I looked at, we should probably have a little overview of what the proposal is, and I'm not seeing anybody that has is showing up to make comments and open. So I would recommend that we go ahead and open the public hearing.
so moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, will say aye.
Aye.
So we're at this point looking for, I guess, a little summary of what the area variance is for, and we'll see if anybody signs in or comes in the door.
So we're looking to build the garage itself would be a 30 by 30 metal structure with a 12-foot lean-to off the side. It's obviously the same depth as the garage. We're looking to put it 2 to 3 feet off of our property line, just because that's really the only spot in our backyard that we would actually be able to put it. Our neighbor already has a garage on his property line, pretty much in the exact same spot. You guys probably saw it when you went and did a site visit. It'll go on a concrete slab, no foundation.
It looks pretty straightforward to me. How much land is at the backside?
We still go another 10 feet down the bank.
Yeah,
Yeah, the only property line we're close to is Dick Bartlett's.
just apartment tips.
And none of your neighbors have expressed any, I mean, I know none of them are here now,
Yeah.
but you haven't had any issues with anybody. It looked pretty straightforward, so.
All right, so I wasn't here, but there's with no site plan, but with 2 or 3 feet, the one thing I would say, it's tough to even put a ladder up against your thing without being on your neighbor's property. I would not recommend only a 2 or 3. I would say it needs to be 4 or 5 feet. Can the shed be slimmer?
I mean, we could move it. We could go 4 feet off the property line.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get a bad neighbor, then you gotta get up on your building, just practicality says,
Yeah.
that guy's gonna say, no, you can't.
Yeah, we could put it
Yeah.
there. That's fine.
Yeah, it looked like there was space.
So I'm gonna abstain other than to just offer that comment.
Did we get any emails or letters or anything?
Nothing.
And it's, these neighbors might be fine, but the house may sell tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. Good point.
Yeah, I mean, I drove by, I was fine. I didn't see any issues really with it, but I mean, Scott makes a
Stopped and looked.
All right, so I see no one on for the screen. Is there anyone else who wants to speak? Hearing none, I would motion that the public hearing be closed.
So made.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? If not, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
I think that at this point, I hear the sentiment. I think that I would be able to, I haven't, I normally will try to draft stuff so that we can do it entirely, but I would say that at this point, we could do a verbal one, and I'll pass around the formal one to you guys.
Yep.
Yes.
It sounds like that you folks are ready to go ahead, so
Yeah.
is there a motion to approve this variance?
I motion to approve this variance.
I'll second it.
Oh, but with conditions, we talked about a 2-foot change?
Yeah.
2 foot, 4 foot from
I
the
don't have
property.
the application in front of me. What was on the application? Was it 3 feet?
2 to 3 feet.
2 to 3, yeah.
So make it 4.
Okay. And get a lot of.
Yeah.
All right, so we've had the motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
And I'm gonna abstain.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
Easy peasy, right? Thank you.
Guys, have a Thanksgiving.
You too.
You too.
All right, well, this could get easy too, since I don't see any people signing on. But we should establish a record here, and I need probably Trish to help me and others too. I don't believe that we have officially discussed the Hudson application since we held the public hearing.
No.
And I believe at that time, we left the public hearing open.
Yes.
And so I think process wise, what I am suggesting is that we go ahead and, go through the process of opening, closing the public hearing. Maybe somebody will sign in, maybe somebody will run in through the door.
They've had months to
Yeah,
come.
yeah. And, and I'll honestly say, I have not heard any issues come forward. And let's see, so open and close a public hearing. And then I think that I have spent some time trying to compose a resolution that we should talk through. And I would like the applicant, because the application has changed some. And I think that that should be on the record that that was presented to the board. So process wise, I'll have them do that during the public hearing. So that's my thoughts, unless anybody else thinks that there's
Do we
other ways
have
that we
to-
should go.
Do we have to open the public hearing if it's already been open this whole time? Procedurally, aren't we already, we have to reopen it again? We have to move to open it again. Okay,
So again, on the record and on the tape, our discussion was that we had left it open, saying that we would consider any other issues that needed to be brought before us. So I would make the motion that we open the public hearing. And is there a second? And we have a second. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
And so with that, I would invite the applicant to talk about perhaps a brief summary of the changes since we last discussed this.
Sure. So since we were last here, we have been to the planning board several times, but probably the biggest change for you guys is to understand that Jamie had to undergo a redesign. Essentially, he was trying to maintain the use of that existing 16,800 square foot warehouse. And ultimately, it was just a loss leader. It was like trying to integrate that, and its existing condition was just not working. And so they ended up deciding to demolish that and instead, and it's kind of basically in the same place, just build a whole new building. But the difference, there is a minor difference in size. I think, we went from something like a 50,000 square 50,000 square foot building to a 62,000 square foot building. But
What's those numbers again?
50 to
somewhere
62.
around 50,000 to 62,000. And so essentially it's in exactly the same place. It has all, before we had the existing warehouse, what he called the connector building, and then another warehouse with like sheds and stuff like that. Now we just have one big warehouse basically that accomplishes all those things. There's still what is called the beam arcade on the north side of the building. And that's where he's storing beams that are kind of going to the kiln and coming back. And then there's the sawmill shed, which is a separate structure. And that's approximately 10,800 square feet. That 9,000 of it would be enclosed. And so that was a reaction to the concerns over sound. About 1,800 of it would be outdoor storage again. And then he still maintains the showroom space, which you can see towards the left of that figure. That building did get a little bit smaller, I think. It's 2 stories and it's about 6,800 square feet. The parking remains at 32 parking spaces, and he has the loading dock. So, the changes from the prior plan are kind of insignificant. We still need all of the same variances. They're just different numbers. So we're looking for the maximum principal footprint area variance, the maximum principal gross floor area variance, the number of principal buildings, a variance for that, a variance from the minimum warehouse setback, a variance from the maximum front yard setback, which is that hamlet setback that wants to push things towards the street, a variance from the minimum required off-street parking and loading, and then also a variance from the wetland buffer. So
Yeah, I think that summarizes
Yeah, okay.
where we are. And anybody wanna put anything in the record of the public hearing, or I'm not seeing anybody on the screen, anybody here? And it's up to the board, or we can just begin to talk through where we're at, when we close the hearing and go out. Is there a motion to close the hearing?
Motion to close the hearing.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Right.
Aye, are there any opposed? I hear none. So I spent quite a bit of time trying to go through this, and I think that we shouldn't just, blow through this. We should actually
Yeah.
read down through this, make sure that all the things are covered. And so, let's start. And, the first whereas is basically just describing what it is that we're looking at. Whereas the Town of Pine Plains Zoning Board of Appeals is in the receipt of a variance application from the Hudson Company for property located at the intersection of County Route 83 and State Route 82, Town of Pine Plains, Dutchess, tax ID number, blah, blah, blah. To allow the continued and expanded use of a legal non-conforming manufacturing warehouse facility with an existing building of 16,800 square feet. This structure and use is to be replaced and expanded to include a two-story building for mill, warehouse, office, showroom, and storage functions of 50,425 square feet, a 10,800 square foot one-story structure for milling and storage of lumber, and a 6,848 square foot showroom office with an accessory apartment. In addition, there will be new vehicular access ways connecting to County Route 83 and other accessory structures, including but not limited to a water storage tank and a kiln. The one clarification that I wanted to make, that for a while they were trying to be extra careful in saying that the storage tank was another principal use. I kind of disagreed with that and said, the storage tank is not, it's an accessory use to support.
Right.
And I just wanted to make that clarification, make sure everybody understood that. Whereas the zoning board of appeals has reviewed the subject variance request, and I need Trish to get the right application number, whatever it is, submitted by Hudson Company. And whereas after review of the application, including review of the town habitat map, a legally noticed public hearing held on June 24th and continued on November 25th this evening, in person and via Zoom, and a review of the secret documents submitted to the Pine Plains Planning Board. And whereas at the public hearing, you folks will recall that we had neighbors on Myrtle Avenue that expressed some concerns regarding potential noise. Whereas the proposed action is an unlisted action under seeker, and the board participated in a coordinated review in which the Town of Pine Plains Planning Board, as lead agency, after a hard look at concerns raised at public hearings, specifically noise levels, determined the proposed project would not have a significant impact on the environment. And whereas the application was submitted to the Dutchess County Department of Planning for a General Municipal Law 239 review, and the county recommended the application to be a matter of local concern. And whereas the site is located in the Hamlet Main Street District, which has a setback requirement for businesses of no less than 10 feet and no more than 25 feet, with the applicant requesting a variance to allow a front yard setback of the showroom not to exceed 60 feet and to not be less than 19 feet for the warehouse. Warehouses would normally require 100-foot setback.
I was gonna say, I remember that.
And whereas the zoning code would require over 100 off-street parking spaces based on square feet of building space. However, the facility will have a known number of employees, significantly less than 100 persons, and the site is large enough to accommodate a future parking expansion. And whereas the existing building exceeds the maximum allowed building footprint size of 6,000 square feet, and so will two of the replacement buildings, requiring area variances for footprint, gross floor area, and number of principal buildings. You'll recall that the zoning code, I think that there are portions where it only allows one principal building, maybe for the warehouse stuff, I'm not sure which, but so basically we're giving a variance that will allow multiple principal uses. One is the continuation of the legal non-conforming use, and the other is the creation of the warehouse use, and of course there is the manufacturing and showroom and office stuff. Whereas the board determined that the proposed project will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood because the manufacturing warehouse use has been on site for many years, and the planning board will have control of the proposed showroom site and architecture, enabling an improved visual appearance of the site. And whereas the applicant has stated that based upon the shape of the lot and the physical constraints imposed, it is not feasible to complete the project and meet required front yard setback, wetland setback, maximum building footprint, maximum principal structure gross floor area, minimum warehouse yard setback, and minimum number of off-street parking spaces. And whereas the variance is not considered substantial based upon the location of the existing building and the planning board's ability to determine the final location based upon their site plan approval process. And whereas the proposed project will not have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood, as it is replacing a long-standing use of the property with a more attractive and functional site plan, which will enhance the appearance of this Hamlet Gateway property. And whereas the hardship is related to working with a site previously developed for manufacturing warehouse function and constrained by wetlands, and hence it is not entirely self-created. And whereas the redevelopment of the site will bring a vibrant business to the Hamlet Center, will help bring customers and pedestrian traffic to other nearby businesses. And now therefore be it resolved that based upon the preceding findings, the Zoning Board of Appeals of Pine Plains hereby, and again, when I write these things, it is always my personal opinion, and it's up to the board to decide if they want to go forward or not, or give changes. And so you'll see that I've written in here, hereby approves, disapproves. The application that clarifies and recognizes the pre-existing non-conforming manufacturing use and grants variances for replacement buildings that exceed the requirements found in the zoning code. Specifically, variances are approved as noted below. 1, the parcel may have multiple principal uses and principal buildings, including manufacturing, warehouse, showroom/office space with an accessory apartment, and accessory structures for water storage and kiln. 2, the maximum principal structure footprint area will not exceed 68,000 square feet. 3, the maximum principal structure gross floor area will not exceed 74,373 square feet. 4, the front yard setback for the showroom building will not exceed 60 feet. 5, the minimum warehouse setback will not be less than 19 feet. And 6, the minimum number of off-street parking spaces shall not be less than 32. 7, the minimum number of off-street loading spaces shall be 1. And 8, the minimum distance for construction disturbance from the wetland boundary shall be 1 foot. In addition, the uses shall be subject to site plan approval by the planning board and comply with all conditions required by the planning board and other town, county, and state agencies having jurisdictions. And then, of course, as you know, as a draft stuff, there are the items of approve, disapprove, and are there any other conditions? And so that's the draft that we are considering. And so with that, I would say comments, changes, what do people want to do?
Have all the other hurdles been met in terms of the planning board? Have they given you any other?
Yes, it's sort of, we have had discussions with the or I've attended a few planning
Yeah.
board meetings, and I think that what we came to was that it was difficult for them to go and have a site plan review without a certain without certain guidance on the variances.
Okay,
And so with the variances in hand, they have a site plan that works,
got it.
that the planning board can then take into full consideration. That's not to say that the planning board has to accept that site plan.
Right,
We're just giving them the permission to say that what they have proposed so far,
Parameters.
yeah.
we've given the parameters that work.
I gotta say, it's very thorough, Scott.
Yeah,
I think this is all the stuff that we discussed when they first came and wanted to do this project. So, I mean, I'm in full support of what you've got here. I can't speak for anybody else, but
I don't see any issues.
yeah,
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I've been through that a lot of time.
yeah,
I bet.
So I think that what we would normally do at this point, we would have a motion that, there might be a couple spelling errors and a couple things to fill in,
well,
but
the only question I did have on paragraph 3 of the first page, you talk about the public hearing held on June 24th and continued on. Hasn't it been ongoing since June 24th? Hasn't that been open? So I think we need to recognize that it's been open for months. People have had their chance to come forward and.
Yeah.
So I don't,
all right, I would say then, yeah,
Correct.
we
I
could
think
say
it's
and,
really
November 25th.
Yeah.
and held open and concluded.
There you go. Yeah, just to make it clear that that's what we've done. But that was the only
Okay,
piece that I mean, everything else, yeah,
okay.
was thorough, so.
With that change, do I hear a motion to approve this?
And I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? I hear none. So I think we're good.
Thank you very much.
So now you gotta take this back to the planning board?
Yeah, we'll go back to the planning board and get a conditional approval because we still have to get our final approvals from DOH for the septic design and DPW for the access design. And we're already in with them, but they can't make an approval until the secret determination and the site plan approval.
And not that this involves us, but I'm just curious, what happens with they need additional access? That's county, right?
Yes.
So that goes to the county, you'll have to. get
Yeah,
that
so we have
from
an
them.
application in with them
You do,
today.
okay,
Right now, yeah, and
Okay.
they have no issues. So they're just basically waiting till,
all these other.
yes,
Got it.
exactly.
I'm curious with the water, what are you gonna do with the water? Have you decided whether you're going to run a new pipe? We just did a test.
We're still working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
don't
I
actually,
understand it's a lot of upkeep for the tanks.
right. So
maintenance.
right now we're doing an assessment of what's kind of more egregious. The maintenance of the tank over time versus the construction and extension of the water line.
Right.
So
I know there's more businesses on that line that want to come in. I wonder if that's
That'd be amazing.
something to talk to them about and see if there's some sort of,
Any names come to mind?
well, I know there's that one that's talking about putting a grocery store.
No.
over there behind
They've only
stores.
got a 4-inch,
Mhm.
a 4-inch line that feeds them, so there's not enough water for the fire extinguishers and whatnot. Not
Who's heading up that?
Hydrants.
not the fire hydrants, but
Sprinklers.
Sprinklers.
thank you.
Yeah.
Across
Come
from
correct? Okay,
the
yeah.
post office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, no, it just makes me laugh because,
That's the Cape. Yes.
the fiasco with the new library. They built the building before they ever checked if there was enough water.
Yeah.
They got the
Right.
building up and then had to put,
But she keeps
I
talking
think,
about
20,000 gallon tanks in the basement that raised the price of the library by $300,000 or $400,000.
Not behind
The
still,
other side,
Not buying service.
across.
not behind still,
Oh, not
Yeah,
from the post office
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
is where they're talking.
yeah.
What's across from the post office right now?
Now it's the old Duels building.
Old hardware store.
Oh, right. Okay.
And they're,
Well, that'd be
they're
amazing
in the
though.
future doing that,
Right,
and they're gonna run against the same problem that
yeah.
there's not enough water there.
Might be there for them. There's a main line that comes down from the main tanks up on the
Right,
hill,
that
goes
goes-
right down that road and comes right out at their front door.
Where's that relative to the fire station?
It's right,
Right behind it.
we're literally right behind it on the same
Right.
side, yeah. Yeah.
They would have to get it right in front on 199. They can't get it from,
They're what, 82.
yeah.
What was Chris's last name?
I know exactly.
Chris.
This is one.
Gumprecht. Gumprecht.
I think it's PHR.
Yeah, I know it's Gumprecht. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
That's great, yeah.
Just a thought.
yeah, we'll look into that.
Right.
Have they been in front of the planning board yet, or?
They just did the distiller, no,
Just
Dispensary. Coming, baby.
Part of that thing?
It's the same
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
so that's like their first step. They've got their steps they want
Yes.
to go through, but that's the first step.
Okay, so they're doing a partial development right now,
That's
and then
about-
they're
yeah.
moving,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, that's good to know, yeah. Well, yeah, we can look into that.
Yeah.
Let's see what might be able to be finagled.
Collaboration. We call that a collab.
Of course. Oh, yes.
Well,
And that would also assist a lot of the businesses going down that way as well. I mean,
mm,
I'm thinking of the deli that's there.
well, the deli's there and,
I mean, they've got water, but I mean,
yeah,
that would definitely help them.
sure,
Right, it's Mountain View potentially.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, God willing.
Yeah.
Well, that was all I had.
Okay, well, that's good
Oh, my God.
until, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of still in the mix and trying to figure that out.
Sure.
Will we see you guys again?
We approve.
From your perspective, you would say hopefully not.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you ever want to stop in at a meeting, feel free to welcome.
We want to be there for your grand opening.
I just want to say thank you to everybody on this board. Mr. Chase, I called you. We didn't even know each other. Called you, I Googled you and called you was like 18 months ago.
Okay.
And you gave me the courage to take the leap. So I just want to say thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And this is gonna be amazing.
It is.
I will not be
Yeah.
disappointed.
This is gonna be great.
This is potentially.
I'm just sorry you had to jump through the hoops I mean, it just seems like such a ridiculous, sometimes it just seems like overkill, but I get it. I get it.
Well, the thing is that the problem is that if you don't do it for everyone, then everyone feels like you know what I mean? And then it's like, well, it's kind of becomes like
That's
that thing of
exactly
like,
what it's-
who do you card for the, the
Yeah.
alcoholic beverage?
You're
Like, better just
absolutely right.
card everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that doesn't make Jamie happy when I tell him that, but as a village planner, on occasion, it's like, it's just better to treat everyone the same and go through it,
Yeah.
cross all the Ts,
This would
dot
have
all
been
that.
fine if it wasn't for the wetlands issue. That's
Exactly.
the thing.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with.
You had
Yeah, so-
so many
Yeah.
So many.
issues in
Yeah.
one little pot that it was like,
I know,
Yeah.
and that just,
Yeah, the difficult thing was, it wasn't until they actually came out and looked that they realized that previous owners had filled and dug out all of the wetlands, so what was there was not very valuable
it was already.
for
yeah.
any more critters.
right. So.
Thank you.
Well,
I
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We're gonna see you in like 2 weeks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you.
Oh,
Thank you. Jamie, Scott, thank you. Trish,
Take care.
Thank you.
For a drink. The French place open? Not on Tuesday.
Not on Tuesday.
What about Sitting House?
No.
Not on
Nope, Sissing House
Tuesday.
closed, cabin's open.
The cabin's open.
That's where we went last time.
I know,
The
that's what
only
we do.
thing open
Yeah,
on
that's where we
Tuesday.
go.
Can't even go for a margarita. They don't have their liquor license anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, guacamole.
Oh, they lost their.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They bought, they
If they're in
sold,
between owners.
yeah, they changed owners and so they had to get a new liquor license and so they won't have it until like June. Oh.
That's too bad, man. Those liquor licenses are hard.
Yeah,
They all come out against each other, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like the tokens for the cat things they were talking about. It's very similar that it's a limited base and they
Yeah.
have to, I was like.
Who issues those?
the state.
The token?
No, the-
No, the liquor license.
Liquor license state of New York.
But you know, they all get noticed within like 50 miles and then they'll work together against.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy. It's like
Oh,
the
yeah.
gas stations.
it's insane.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
Take care.
All right, our last item is approval of the October 25th minutes.
I read them. They looked great.
All right, so do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve minutes.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor will say aye.
Hi,
I will abstain. Literally.
I think that was the first meeting we had.
I know.
Do
We
it.
all see each other. We're not, Scott's not here. We.
I know.